Welcome to your pick a pile reading. My name is Kirsten with Watersedgetarot. If you've already picked your pile, go ahead and click on the timestamp below. If you're new to a pick a pile, what you're going to do is you're going to pause the video and you're going to focus on the 3 piles in front of you. You're going to decide which one resonates with you the most, and then you're going to go down to the description and click on the timestamp that coordinates with your reading. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. I look forward to seeing you in your reading. Welcome pile 1 to your reading. Let's go ahead and dive in. First, we're going to start with you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And here we have the 9 of Cups. Now, the 9 of Cups shows me that you're in a place where you feel emotionally satisfied. You are content, you're happy, you have the confidence to know that you can create and do anything that you need to. This card is a card that represents you being in a place of creativity, but also in a place of understanding and happiness. Cups are about your heart space. So when I see the 9 of Cups, I know that right now you are currently either about to be at the pinnacle of everything you wanted, or you already are there. And that's a beautiful thing to see. What the root of the issue is we have Strength reversed and we have the 6 of Swords in its upright position. I want to talk about the 6 of Swords first, because the 6 of Swords is a card of transition. And swords themselves are about your mind, your mentality. It's an air element. It's about communication. So my favorite part about the 6 of Swords is whenever I see it, then in most decks, this is the only card that has 2 elements in it, almost in every deck. It's got air being the sword, and then it's got water. And the thing about that is when you have the 6 of Swords, it's one of those things where you have been working to change your perspective. You've been working to let something go. You've been working to forgive something. You've been working at something to change your mentality, whether it be a habit, a behavior, whatever it is. You've been doing a lot of mind work, and you're like, when is it going to show? This is a card that reminds you that the head leads first and the heart eventually follows. So this card is saying that, yes, you are working and you've been doing the work, and right now your external is not matching your internal, and that's okay. Because it's just going to take a little bit of time. Your heart will follow. That water, everything will cross, it will go. Then we have the Strength reversed. And the reason why I wanted to do the 6 of Swords first is because with Strength reversed, this is showing me that you've been at it for a while, that this isn't just something that you just decided to do. You've been doing this for a minute, because Strength in its upright or reverse position tells me that you have the strength inside of yourself to do the thing that you're doing. When it's in its reverse position, it's just that you've been doing it for a while, and we need to remember the reason for why we started the process to begin with. What was the initial reasoning? What was the initial, drive to continue to do what it is that you're doing right now? Remember that and just hold out a little longer. You're almost there. Like I said, if you already weren't there, you're at the pinnacle, and it's a beautiful place to be, but sometimes you just got to wait just a little bit longer. What's holding us back? We have the Fool in its reverse position, and then we have the 3 of Wands. I want to talk about the Fool in the reverse position first, too. Because when I see the Fool, again, I see that you started a new journey. I see that you made a change of some sort, whether that be new career, new relationship, whatever your change is, you did something that was new and different from your norm. And now that the Fool's in its reverse position, a lot of things are just happening. There's rain, there's, flat tires, there's traffic jams. There's a whole bunch of things that you just weren't accounting for that are happening, and that's okay. So when you get the Fool in the reverse position, it's a reminder that, yes, you started this journey, you had the passion, you had the drive, you had the desire, and you're doing it, which is great. Don't take all these obstacles as, signs that you're not supposed to do it. Instead, take these obstacles and see what you can learn from them. Because we have the 3 of Wands with this as well. And when I see the 3 of Wands, this is a card of patience. This is a card of waiting. This is a card of you needing to just wait for the universe to respond in kind. And I know that sounds cliche, but hear me out. You can fill out applications, okay? Upon applications, you can fill out all the applications in the world. But those applications won't do you anything until you receive something back. So if that's how our actual society works, you fill out applications, you wait for the institution or the corporation to respond to you so that way you can move forward in some type of direction, the universe works in the same way. Right now, you have done all that you can do. You've done the amount that you can actually do. Now you just need to wait for the universe to respond in kind, which is aggravating, yes, but that doesn't mean you just lie and wait and do nothing either. When you fill out applications for job applications, university applications, I don't care what it's for, you can still do other things to prepare for whatever the answer that you're hoping to find is. You can, pack up stuff. You can, get new clothes. You can make sure you have everything you need. You can clean your house. There's a bunch of other things you can do in preparation for that universe to respond in kind, for that answer that you're waiting on. So don't think this is just a do nothing card. That's not what I'm saying. This is just a patience, and you have to wait in response for whatever it is you're hoping to get. The universe will respond. Our advice / helping, we have the Two of Swords and we have the Four of Swords. So I want to talk about the Two of Swords first, because the Two of Swords is being paralyzed by decision. So when I see the Two of Swords, I see that you are literally stuck between option A and option B. And it's not that option A and option B, one's better than the other, one's more right, one's more wrong. It's not that at all. It's just that instead of making a decision, you have chosen not to make a decision. And that is in itself a decision. But that's not going to get you anywhere. That's very stagnant energy. So when I see the Two of Swords in this spot here, it's a reminder that you still have a decision to make. You still have to follow through on that decision. And then we have the Four of Swords, which is about rest and recovery. And this is a really big reminder for anyone out there who's very much like me, who wants to keep going, doing, because if I'm doing, then I don't have time to worry and stress about whatever the bigger issue is. So the Four of Swords is a reminder that you need to actively rest. What do I mean by actively rest? I mean by sitting on the couch and letting your body just relax. I'm not talking about sitting on the couch thinking about the bills that you have to pay, wondering how you're going to get the next event done, wondering, if you're going to pass your test. That none of that is you actively resting. Actively resting is you sitting on the couch and just allowing your body to relax and being still in the moment with a clear mind. Our next steps card is the Ten of Wands in its reverse position. What I love about this is this kind of reflects this whole, like what I said about strength in its reverse position, is when I see the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Wands is about you carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, having all the responsibility. But when it's in its reverse position, it's a reminder that it's not forever and you're almost done. Upright and reverse position, it's a reminder that you carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders is not a forever thing, it's temporary. But in its reverse position, it's practically finale. Like, it's practically there. You're at the finale, you're in the episode, whatever it is, it's practically there. Because tens are always a completion card too. So don't think that this is a forever thing. When you reach a 10, you have to go back to, a 1, and the 1 is literally just aha, you're free kind of deal. So when I see the Ten of Wands in its reverse position, it's a reminder that it's just for a little bit longer, and maybe reprioritize as much as you can to see what, you can wait till tomorrow and what has to be done today. Because sometimes when we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders, the problem isn't that we have to do everything. It's that we're afraid to let go of one of those wands, because we're afraid if we're not carrying it, then it's just going to get forgotten. And that's not necessarily the case either. So it's also a reminder to reprioritize our actions and see what actions are more important and what we can put down and come pick up back later. That was really hard to say for some reason. All right, and then we have our internal influences, and this is the King of Wands, also a very cute cat. I have a partial for black cats. With the King of Wands, though, this is you being in a place of, again, action. This is you knowing how to get things done. This is you just doing the things that need to be done when you see them, understanding the reason, the logic, and the just, having the ability to follow your passion and do the things that you need to do, which is a beautiful thing to see, specifically with the King, because that's one of those things where you're really leaning into that masculine energy and you're really giving yourself the chance to just not even really think about it, but just do. And that, in its own sense, is almost kind of feminine in the sense of like you're just doing, you're not thinking about it. But with the divine masculine, it's a more along the lines that sometimes we have to watch out that we don't burn ourselves out. I just want to point that out, because we also have our way to as the Two of Pentacles, the way to our possible outcome. So we have the Two of Pentacles, which can lead to the Nine of Swords. Let's talk about the Two of Pentacles first. And let me give my little caveat about Pentacles. Pentacles is not just about finances, it's about time, energy, and health. You spend time, you spend energy, hopefully we're not spending our health. So when I see the Two of Pentacles here, I see that we're doing a balancing act. Like literally, are you putting yourself too much in work? Are you putting yourself too much in play? Are you putting yourself too much in rest? Like whatever you're doing, there's just not a balance. And when you get the Two of Pentacles, it is a reminder that we need to keep and maintain a balance. Because as long as we keep our feet grounded in the earth and we keep our head connected to the universe, the divine, God, source, whatever your thing is, then you're going to be able to stay balanced. But that also has to be shown in your everyday life. So it's a reminder to pull yourself together and like have things just in harmony with each other, so that way you're not forgetting anything, because once we get out of balance, everything just gets a lot worse. Which then leads us to the Nine of Swords, which is a really interesting outcome, and I think I'm going to pull a clarifier on this if I don't figure it out by the time we do the full story. But swords are about our mentality. They're about our communication skills. It's about our mindset. And the Nine of Swords literally is the despair, anxiety, depression, nightmare card. Like that's not a happy ending right now. And when I see that we're just allowing the thoughts in our brain to just go, 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 go. And it's not even a matter of controlling them or not controlling them. It's more along the lines that we're not listening to them. And because we're not listening to them, we're not listening to our heart, we're not listening to our body. We are just letting the thoughts run rampant. So let's pull a full story and then we'll come back to the Nine of Swords. Because right now I see that you are in a place of, you're in a really good place, to be honest, pile one. You have the Nine of Cups. Like right now you are the Nine of Cups. You have your fulfillment. You're there. But it's one of those where there's still something missing. And I can see that because we have the Six of Swords and Strength reversed, which tells me that you're tired and that you're making a transition. And then we have the Fool reversed, and we have the Three of Wands, which is what's holding us back. And those two things together, actually those four things together, all kind of tell me that you are just in this precipice of wanting perfection instead of being happy with what you've achieved. You've done something great, pile one. You've done something amazing. I don't know what it is, but you're not giving yourself the credit because for whatever reason, you're wanting it to fit in a box. You're wanting it to fit in a square, and that's not how the world works. So what if it's more triangular, or what if it's more hexagonal? It's okay. Be happy with what you've done. Be happy with what you've accomplished. And I feel like that's what this Two of Swords is about. It's a reminder that you can make a decision. You can make a decision to be happy, or you can make a decision to be miserable. And yes, you decide your emotions. I know that seems like kind of weird, but it's really true. You decide your happiness, you decide your misery, you decide your sadness. You decide your emotions. And if you are leaning into discontent, disharmony, and not giving into that internal heartfelt joy that your body wants you to have for everything you did, then that explains 100% why we're being to the Nine of Swords here. I don't need a clarifier. I'm actually getting the story now. So let's rest, okay? Let's rest. Let's choose to be happy, and let's rest and say, I've done so much. I deserve to just take a break. I don't care if that's you taking a nap. I don't care if that's you giving yourself a little weekend getaway. Rest. Do something to actively rest, so that way your mind and your heart can both just have a space where, you can recollaborate everything and get into a whole space. Because this Ten of Wands here, this Ten of Wands is you wanting to be in control. This Ten of Wands is you wanting to hold on to everything because, oh my God, if you just drop one of the wands, the world might collapse. It's not the case, okay? I can already tell you right now, put like 3 of them down, okay? Put 3 of them down, walk the mile that you need to walk with 7 of them on your back. Come back and get those 3 and find the path so much easier. You can do this. The world's not going to fall apart. Release some of that need to control. Because the King of Wands here, this is your internal influences, is you being passionate, excited, happy, driven, goal-oriented. And that is beautiful to see. But if we don't balance, if we don't ground ourselves in the earth and connect ourselves to source, divine, universe, God, whatever your thing is, then you're just going to go back to the unhappy state that you started, which is not where you want to be, pile one. Now that I pulled the full story, I actually get your oracle cards because these two literally flew out at me. And we have grounding and struggle, and I'm keeping them together on purpose because it felt like they needed to be together. The other one here is masculine energy, which is what I've talked about a lot in this reading. Let's talk about grounding and struggle. So in the struggle card, this one, you see a fish swimming upstream. And it's the story with it is the obvious story that most of us know about a salmon stream going upstream to its birthplace so that way it can lay eggs where it's safe, and then it's going to go right back. And it seems like a useless struggle. But here's the thing. The salmon doesn't think it's a struggle. It knows it's going to make it to its birthplace. For it, it's just part of the process. It's just swimming. It doesn't even realize that it's swimming upstream. It's just something it does because in its mind, it has the innate knowledge of my birthplace is safe for me to lay eggs so I can continue on. And then grounding. That is another big thing that's been in your cards here. So instead of struggling, let's ground. That is literally the message I'm getting from these two cards. Instead of struggling, let's ground. Go step in some grass. Go meditate for 5 minutes. Take a bath. Just journal, meditate, do something to get you into an active, healthy, resting state. Because this divine masculine energy is working so much for you. And it's great that you're in it, and it's great that you have it. But at the same time, again, if you need to control everything, or if you feel like you have to do everything, you're just going to burn yourself out. Our other oracle card was perspective, which I think is a beautiful thing for this reading, because here I'm asking you to see how you can do things a little differently. I'm asking you to see and look around and change your perspective about how you're feeling about your current situation, because you've done something amazing, and instead of giving yourself a pat on the back, instead of saying, I did this, you're just stuck in this, it needs to be better mode. And that's not the case. So change your perspective. Allow yourself to see from a different perspective. Allow yourself to see from someone else's eyes. Tell your story of what you're achieving as if it's somebody else, like your best friend who's achieving it, and see if you would be more proud of them than you are of yourself. And if that's the case, that proudness you feel for your friend who's living your story should belong to you. Pile 1, this is your reading. This is a heavy reading, and this is what you're getting today. And I really want you to listen to the advice, especially to give yourself just the joy and allow yourself to lean into that heart space. If you're struggling with it after this reading, in the comments, let me know what's going on, and I will help you see that outside perspective. If you have any questions, also hit me up in the comments. If you want a private reading, there's a link in the description below. Pile 1, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you find the happiness that you're going for, and I can't wait to read for you soon. Bye-bye. Welcome, Pile 2, to your reading. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first card we have here is you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And we have the Magician reversed here. When I see the Magician reversed, it's one of those things where I know right now you have the ability to create, to do, to whatever it is you want to do. Like, you have all the tools, you have the knowledge, you have the tools, you have the wherewithal, you have the resources, you have everything you need to create what it is that you want to create. But in its reverse position, you're finding all the excuses for why you can't create it. And in its reverse position, your tools aren't shiny enough. The knowledge that you know isn't enough. You need to reaffirm that you have the right knowledge. If the weather's just slightly off today, it's a little too sunny, I need it to be a little more overcast. I have a slight chill. I want to make sure that it's not the fact that it's 40 degrees outside, that, I want to make sure that I'm not going to get sick. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's 40 degrees outside. Like, we just have excuses and excuses and excuses for why we're not doing the thing, instead of taking responsibility and holding ourselves accountable for the fact that we can actually already start and do what we want to do. The root of the issue here, we have 5 of Wands in its reverse position, and we have Temperance in its upright position. Let's talk about the Five of Wands first. No, actually, I'm scratch that. I want to talk about Temperance and its reverse position first, actually, because I understand how these cards go together really well right now. So in Temperance and its reverse position here, I see that, again, you've learned something new. You are doing something, you've acquired knowledge, and you're applying the knowledge. Temperance and its reverse position tells me that you've learned something and you're applying knowledge in some way. But you're aggravated about it because things aren't working out the way you want it to. And instead of taking it as an opportunity to learn from these blunders, to learn from these mistakes, to learn from these missteps, we're just getting aggravated, frustrated, and we're just reconfirming that we need to have more knowledge. When truth is, you learn anything. My classic example is nursing school. Hear me out. So you go to nursing school and you have all this knowledge, and it's great that you have all this knowledge, but none of that matters or applies until you actually put it to the patient. None of that matters. And as you put it to the patient, you find that everything's a little different, that everything's slightly off, that it's not exactly just easy peasy as it is in the book. Cooking and baking are the same way, actually. I don't know if you've ever tried to bake bread or made one of the complicated cooking recipes, but it's one of those things where it's like you can follow a recipe exactly, but there's a bunch of other things that could be outside your control that you need to learn in the moment and apply and learn from. So this isn't one of those things to beat yourself up about. This is one of those times to say, what can I learn from this? Because when I have the Five of Wands here as the root of the issue, that is just conflict of action. That's telling me that you're not trying to learn from the blunders. You're not trying to learn from the missteps. You're just trying to quickly fix it. You're trying to quickly do whatever. It's just action, 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 action. Maybe it's reaction, 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 reaction. And it's one of those things where it's like you really need to just take a breath, take a step back and say, okay, what is best? Because when I see the Five of Wands, my really good example for this is, you want to cook dinner, feed the baby, change the diaper, you want to take the dog for a walk, you need to pay bills, and you need to get laundry done. Well, okay, we can't do all 6 of those at the exact same time, so what's priority? What can we reprioritize? What actions are most important out of those 6 things? Focus on that one thing and then get to the other things afterwards. So these 2 cards combined tell me that right now we're in a place where we're doing things, but we're not learning from what we're doing. We're just keep repeating and hoping for something different to happen. And we're not allowing ourselves to actually sit in the newness of learning. What's holding us back? We have the Eight of Coins in its reverse position, and then we have the Star in its upright position. I'm going to talk about the Eight of Coins first. I'm going to give you my little caveat about coins/pentacles. It's not just about finances. It's about time, energy, and health. You spend time, spend energy. Hopefully we're not spending health. So when I see the Eight of Coins in its reverse position, this is you having a skill that you have mastered, that you've worked hard on, that you know a lot about. And when it's in its reverse position, we're trying to be perfect. We're trying to, we want it to be exactly. We get real upset about any little nicks, and we're at the point where because it's not challenging, it feels almost petty and unfulfilling to us. And then we have the Star. And the Star is you having a goal, you having a North Star, you having something that you're so excited to go after, and it's there keeping you motivated. And it's actually a beautiful thing to see. The Star is one of those reminders that, everything worth doing is worth doing. But sometimes we don't get to actually learn anything or see our light until we're put into darkness. That doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go through something bad. It's just sometimes darkness is you being still. Darkness could be you, allowing yourself to lean into your emotions and feel the grief, feel the frustration. Darkness is different for everybody, but until you lean into it, you're not going to be able to see that star. Our advice/grounding, we have the Four of Swords, and we have the Knight of Coins. And I love this combination. Let's talk about the Four of Swords first. Because Four of Swords, this is about rest and relaxation. I mean, look at that sloth. They're in a hammock, and there's a baby sloth on top of it, and they're just sleeping. Like, how much more of a reminder can you get about needing rest other than a sloth sleeping in a hammock? But for real, though, rest, relaxation, give yourself active rest. Don't sit on the couch and think about the fact that you have to pay bills, that you have homework due, that, the baby's daycare is having a day that requires a special outfit. Like, just chill about that. Sit on the couch for 30 minutes and turn the brain off. Take a bubble bath. Go for a walk. Yes, that's not necessarily resting, but for some of you, that might be the only rest you can get. Clear your head and relax. Or be a sloth and sleep in a hammock. Because the Knight of Pentacles here, the Knight of Coins here, is the only Knight that understands that everything has a season and a reason. So Knights like to move. They like to go, go, go. But this Knight really just likes to have things, going the way that they go. Why is this? Well, first off, Pentacles is earth energy. And when you see earth energy, you know that there's 4 seasons. And when I see the Knight, he understands that, and he just wants everything to have its natural course. So rest and give yourself a time and ability to just allow things to just take their time, take their course. And you know what? We're just going to go straight to one of your oracle cards. This is literally an oracle card, slow and steady. And you got the 4 of Wands and the Knight of Coins as your grounding and advice. So, this reading really is just asking you to slow down, to breathe, to relax. Just allow yourself to have that ability and capability to relax. Our next card here is the 9 of Coins in its reverse position. And this is our next step card. When I see the 9 of Coins in its reverse position, I know that this is one of those cards where you are at a place where you already have your resources. You have time management skills. You have the ability to do what it is you need to do. You understand how to be independent. You know how to run and manage your life. But in its reverse position, we lack the confidence. We doubt. We give into fear. We fear the unknown. When I see the 9 of Coins, it's a reminder that you have what you need. You just need to have the confidence that everything you're doing is worth it. And then we have our internal influences, which is the 5 of Coins in its reverse position. I am just now realizing how earth energy this reading is. Let me count real quick. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your 11 cards are earth energy. So we really need to just pull down and ground pile too. But back to the 5 of Coins in its reverse position. Let's talk about 5 of Coins. 5 of Coins is a card of purging. 5 of Coins is a card of you realizing what resources are actually necessary and which ones aren't. It's a kind of a stripping away. And it can be scary. I will admit that. I've been through 5 of Coins and I've seen my scary 5 of Coins, but you know what it made me realize? It made me realize what was important, and it made me realize really what I value, and I focus on that. Now in its reverse position, this is something that you're already going through. This isn't something that you're like, that's a big surprise, I didn't see that coming. No, you are in this, you know it's there. And here's the thing, you are purging, you are going through it, and the 5 of Coins is going to lead you to something bigger and better. And this reverse position, 5s are always about change. And when I see a reversed 5, I know you're on the upswing of that change. I know that things are going to be coming in because you released whatever that earth energy you had to release is, whether it's actual physical resources, whether you needed to actually lose time to something. And when I mean lose time, I mean maybe some of your plans fell through and now you have access time that you weren't originally planning on. I don't know what exactly it is, but know that you're on the upswing. Because our way to a possible outcome, our way to is the King of Coins. Our possible outcome is the 6 of Swords reversed, which is a beautiful thing to see. So let's talk about the King of Coins here. King of Coins, this is someone, again, who knows how to manage their time and resources well. And in the divine masculine version of Earth, it's one of those where it doesn't just know how to manage its time and resources, it knows how to trust and lean. It knows how to act and when to stay still. It knows when to grow, and it knows when to go within inside of itself. Think of a tree, okay? If you were like me and you live in if you live in the Midwest, I'm really struggling with words tonight. If you live in the Midwest, everything has a season. It's got your spring, summer, fall, and winter. And so right now, we're literally entering our fall season, and the leaves are starting to fall off the tree, and the trees are starting to go within inside themselves. The King of Coins knows when to go inside themselves and then knows when to grow. And right now is a time where you're being asked not necessarily to hermit mode or anything like that, but to kind of start gathering things around you, start preparing for what's coming next. Whatever that could be, the King of Coins is one of those things where you need to give yourself the ability to do what you need to do to prepare for what you need to prepare for, but you need to do it with your time and energy. You need to do it with your resources. You need to do it with your finances, and you need to do it in a way that's beneficial for you. Which then leads us to our possible outcome, which is the Six of Swords in its reverse position. I love the Six of Swords, and I tell this story every time I see it because swords is an element of air. It's about our mentality, it's about our communications, and it is the only card in almost every tarot deck that has two elements in it. It has swords, which are represented right here on the boat, and then it's got water. Why is that so important to me? Because here's the thing. When you are going through a mental shift, a paradigm shift, when you are working on changing your thought patterns, your practices, your habits, whatever it is that you're trying to do, it starts in the head and it goes to the heart. Your heart is moving, your head is moving, your heart has to follow. What does that also mean? That's one of those things where it's like you're doing the internal work, the external is going to show itself. And when I have the Six of Swords in its reverse position, I know that you're getting really frustrated and really aggravated because you're right there, okay? You've done it. You've accomplished it. You need to give yourself that confidence and that ability to kind of just be patient and know that it's happening and that others are seeing it as well. Okay, now that we did the individual cards, let's pull your full story together because you have a lot going on, pile two. You are the Magician reversed right now, which these three cards, so we got the Magician reversed, we got the Five of Wands, and we got Temperance reversed. Okay, so this is you. This is you getting aggravated because you don't have all the shiny tools and things aren't getting perfect. But this is also you applying that knowledge that you're doing, and then this is you getting aggravated. The reason why I'm pulling all three of these cards out is because they seem contradictory. When I'm telling you that you're finding excuses and that you're not doing the thing, and then I tell you that you're doing the thing, here's what's really going on, okay? You have the ability. You have what it takes. You're just getting so caught up in the moment that you're not allowing yourself to kind of pull back and see what you can learn from the moment to make things better. You're literally just doing the same thing repetitively over and over and over again and saying, well, it's all I know to do. It's all I know to do. It's all I know to do. Instead of giving yourself the ability to say, hold up, maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe there's something I should be doing differently. Maybe I should check my resources. Maybe I should see if, there's different materials I should do. You need to give yourself the ability to reflect on why it's not working. Maybe it's just the fact that you're putting too much pressure onto something, which that literally can be a reason why things don't work. Ask Bread. Maybe you are, you have the right tools, you're just using them in the wrong way. Maybe it is something to do with the weather outside. Literally, back to my bread example, if my kitchen's too humid, that dough is going to rise a lot quicker than when it's completely dry. And that is something you need to figure out. And that's one of those things where it's not anything you would need to learn more. You probably already have the knowledge. You just need to check everything that you're doing, because right now you're just going from action to action to action. I see no communication of thought here. I see no learning here. I only see you having fire and air together. And fire and air, when they're together, they just make more fire. We need to really get something else. We need to get some earth energy, or we need to get some water into this so we can chill, so we can kind of grow to see what we're doing better. Because the reason why you started this was because you were feeling kind of burnt out, because you already had something that you excelled at. And I feel like this is where part of your aggravation is. Part of your aggravation is you remember how well you used to be able to do whatever it was you're doing, and you're wondering, why isn't the new thing working the same way? It's because it's new. New is new. New's messy. New's clunky. I'm sorry. Get over the fact that new is new, and remember why you started this to begin with. Fall into that star. Let this be your water that cools you off. Let this be the reminder that, hey, it's okay that what I'm doing isn't perfect, and I'm going to look at it from a different perspective, and I'm going to try to do it differently with the knowledge I know, and maybe returning to the resources to make sure and see if I missed anything. Ooh. All right, well, your next steps card just flew. And then we have our King of Coins and our Four of Swords, which is reminding us in a big way, I'm going to get your card, which is reminding us in a big way to relax, and that everything has its time, reason, and season. Ugh. Because when I have these two cards together, it's literally the ultimate reminder of just chill. Like, that's really what those cards mean. Just chill. Nine of Coins loves to go at its own speed. It's like the turtle of the Knights. It's the one that says, you know what, I'm going to get there when I get there. There's no reason to rush. Everything happens in its time. And the Four of Swords is literally just telling you to take a nap. Because our Nine of Coins here is you just lacking confidence. Our Five of Coins in its reverse position shows me that this is really uncomfortable for you. But guess what? You're doing it and you need to give yourself that break. Because the King of Coins here is telling me that you're going to achieve, that you know how to do this. And the Six of Swords here is telling me that you're doing it. You're in the transition. But instead of allowing yourself to see it from a childlike excitement, you're just getting frustrated and you're on rapids. And rapids can either be really exciting or they can be really scary, and you're the one that gets to choose how that works. Okay, pile two, let's get to your oracle cards. I already showed you the slow and steady, and I've already talked about it, and it feels really important to me as well that there's a spiral on a turtle, which is literally how I just described the Knight of Coins here. Slow and steady. And then we have New Day. And I love this for this reading because to me, that tells me that yes, it didn't work today, but there's always tomorrow. Allow yourself each day to wake up and say, you know what? Today's going to be the day. Today's the day. Give yourself into that new day instead of waking up tired thinking, well, I didn't do it yesterday. How am I going to do it today? And then our other oracle card is absence. And what I love about this is, like, when you hear the word absence, it just brings a pause. Like, there's no way to hear it and not have a pause. Because your next thought or question is, what do I need to be absent in? Or what is absent? And it makes you think. And absence in itself is literally pausing, whether you're being absent or whether someone else is being absent and causing you to pause. Whatever the absence is, allow yourself to lean into it. Allow yourself to, maybe you do need to go into hermit mode for a little bit and just retreat for 30 minutes, an hour, a day, whatever. Not forever, but just give yourself the ability to just just put yourself aside and relax. All right, pile two, that's your reading. That was a lot, actually, and I threw a lot at you. Let me know in the description below or in the comments below what it is that you're so stuck on that you're just getting aggravated instead of allowing yourself to have that joy and childlike wonder. Because if you can lean into that joy and childlike wonder, this process will be so much smoother and so much happier for you. And if you can't do it on your own, I will help you find that childlike joy. That is your reading. Thank you for making it this far. If you want a private reading, there's a link in the description below, and I can't wait to read for you soon. Bye, pile two. Welcome, pile three, to your reading. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So first, we're going to talk about you, not who you are as a person, just who you are in the situation. And this is the Sun reversed. And when I see the Sun in its reverse position, I understand that we have accomplished or we learned. I'm not exactly sure what lesson or excitement this is, but I know that we're actually resisting it. And that's kind of the issue. So when I have the Sun in its reverse position, it's like you learn this lesson, you've completed something, you never have to learn it again. You never have to go through it again. But you're not really sure. You're still doubting it. You kind of want to hide. I don't know. Maybe there's more. No, you learned it. Share it with the world. Take in that energy and go about it. What's the root of the issue here? We have the Devil in its reverse position, and we have the Seven of Wands. Let's talk about the Seven of Wands first. So the Seven of Wands is you standing your ground. And I know that's not really well depicted in this card. This one actually looks more like a bridge, which is whatever. But with the Seven of Wands, it's a reminder that, you know, speak your truth, walk your walk, walk your talk. Words are hard for me right now, I'm sorry. But it's a reminder that you have to do what you say you're going to do. You have to actually build the bridge. You actually have to put your actions forward. Because when I see the Seven of Wands, I know that you have these plans. I know you have these things that you want to do. And I know everyone around you might not actually understand what you're doing. But when you start doing it, they're going to calm down. They're going to be like, oh, okay, building that bridge was actually really necessary. I'm glad that you did that. Until then, they're just going to look at you like you're crazy because we've never needed a bridge before. Why do we need it now? Which then leads me to the devil reversed, because the devil is about comfort zones. When I see the devil, I'm reminded that, you know, the devil doesn't actually force us to eat the candy bar. He just offers us the candy bar and we say yes or no. The devil doesn't do anything other than give us the ability to the thing that we want. Now, when I say comfort zone, I don't necessarily mean that you're in a comfortable place. A comfort zone is just the amount of discomfort you're willing to tolerate. So your comfort zone isn't really a place of comfort, peace, and joy. A comfort zone is just whatever you're willing to tolerate. And when I have the devil in his reverse position, you're aware of what that comfort zone is and you're trying to get away from it. And that's a beautiful thing to see, but it doesn't necessarily make it easy, especially when you have the habit of having to go back into it every once in a while. You really want to beat up on yourself, but it's not necessary to do that because that's just part of the process. Yes, you've been offered a candy bar and you said no to it 3 times and then you've relapsed a little bit and you said yes to it 1 time and then you denied it 2 more times. You know what? Be proud of yourself. Out of those 7 times, like 6 of them, you said no. You only gave in once. That's a good thing, okay? So allow yourself to realize that it is progress to get out of those comfort zones. It is work, and the fact that you're doing it is a good thing. What's holding us back is the 7 of crystals and the 6 of crystals. So ironic that what's holding us back is earth energy. Let's talk about the 6 of crystals first, because this is almsgiving. This is either you being in a place where you're giving to other people or you being in a place where you're receiving from other people. And whenever I see almsgiving, or the 6 of crystals, I see it in the sense of there was a time where you needed something and it was fulfilled in an unexpected way, or there was a time that you were able to help somebody else out and it was, you know, it resided with you, but maybe you gave from a place that you shouldn't have. And I'm not saying you gave from a place of like, you know, it's one of those things where every, like, all good deeds go unpunished kind of deal. I don't think I'm saying that right. Let me just start over on this. When I see the 6 of Pentacles or the 6 of Crystals, sometimes it's a reminder. Sorry, I'm getting really tired and this is like the last thing I'm doing tonight. It's a reminder that we gave from a place where we shouldn't have. And what I mean by that is you gave money to somebody or you gave time or you gave energy to somebody that wasn't yours to give because you should have given it to yourself first. Maybe that money was for something you needed to pay the bills with. Maybe that time you needed to study, or maybe that time you really needed to get caught up on your housework because you're like, you have people coming over, guests coming over. Whatever it is, that time that you gave, that energy, those resources that you gave, wasn't like, it was something that you should have held on to. With that being said, I forgot to give my little caveat about crystals or pentacles. I want to remind you that it's not just about money. It's about time, energy, and health, because we spend time, we spend energy, and hopefully we're not spending a health. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles, 7 of crystals here. And this is a mermaid swimming amongst crystals, which is beautiful. But it's also kind of one of those cards where when you have the 7 of Pentacles, it's you reap what you sow. And when it's in its upright position, you had a beautiful harvest. You had a lot of good things, which again makes me feel like pile 3, that what you were doing was you were giving from your own harvest, but maybe you gave too much. Maybe the harvest that you had was plentiful for you to get you through whatever you was going to get you through, and you had just enough. And instead of allowing yourself to hold on to that, we gave more away than we should have. Then we have our grounding / advice. I don't know why we're grinding advice, but that's what we're doing right now. And here we have the Knight of Crystals in its reverse position, and we have the 10 of Cups in its reverse position. So when I see these cards, let's talk about the 10 of Cups reverse first, because with the 10 of Cups, It's one of those things where you literally had or have everything you want, but you're still not satisfied. Like, it's 10 of Cups is the wish come true, the happily ever after card. It's you having everything your heart's desire and you're still malcontent. And then we have the Knight of Crystals here. And this is the only knight. All knights like to move. They like to go, go, go. But this is the only knight that likes to go at its own speed and its own pace. Why? Because it's earth energy. And it understands that everything has a season and a reason. It has spring, it has a summer, it has a fall, and it has a winter. And it doesn't like to be pushed out of its comfort zone. It does not like to be pushed outside of those seasons. Why? Because it's not natural for it. It's not even a comfort zone. It's about being natural. So when I have the Knight of Crystals or the Knight of Pentacles in its reverse position, either someone is trying to rush it along and it's getting aggravated and flustered, or somebody's being very impatient and wants things before they should happen. Just like you wouldn't plant a seed and then a week later expect there to be a full tree, life is the same way. Things sometimes just have to take time. And I feel like even though you have everything that you want up until this point, you're so focused on the fact that, you know, the tree is going to take a couple years, you're not even appreciating the fact that you're growing a tree. And that's where we're at with this. Sorry, really need a drink. All right, our next steps card, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is showing that you have the ability, you have the capability to get what needs to be done. You know how to nurture, you know how to love, you know how to take care of the homestead. And when the Queen of Wands comes around, it's all about you having the ability to fulfill actions, fulfill needs, and fulfill things that needs to be done for yourself and for others. And that's a beautiful thing to see. And then we have our internal influences, which is the Empress here. And what I love about this card specifically is it's a reminder that divine femininity is more of a concept than it is a figure. Because when I see the Empress, I know that right now we're going through a fertile growth time period. We have the ability to create and do whatever it is we want to do. We have the hopes, the dreams, the ideas, and all we have to do is we have to start making plans and allowing those seeds to grow. And then our way to our possible outcome is the Five of Crystals reversed to the Ace of, what's that Wands? Yeah, the Ace of Wands reversed. So let's talk about the Five of Crystals reversed. When I see the Five of Crystals or the Five of Pentacles reversed, I see that you are in a place where you're feeling impoverished. Now, the reason why I'm saying feeling impoverished is because, yes, you might be in a low spot. You might be in a low spot financially with your health, you know, with your time, your energy. You might be exhausted. But here's the thing. What you're going through is a purging. You're going through a purging and you're being asked to strip down all the unnecessary things that you don't need so you can realize what you do need. The other thing I love about this card specifically is if in its upright position, there is a church behind them. There is some type of offer of help that they could receive. And instead of going to it, they're too prideful and they're looking away. Now, in its reverse position, it's one of those things where you've already realized, yes, I need the help, or yes, this is more than I can handle, and you've asked for it, and you're in the process of working through it. And that's a beautiful thing to see. But I always talk about the purge first because purging is necessary. And when we're resistant to the purging, it feels like a punishment instead of a blessing. Now, am I saying that, you know, being short on cash or stressing about bills is a blessing? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that life always happens for a reason, and that sometimes you have to see what you can learn from this or what can be gained from this experience, because that's where the real growth happens. Which then leads us to the Ace of Wands in its reverse position. So what I love about aces, whether in the reversed or upright position, it's always about new beginnings. And Wands is about that passion, that fire, that drive, and that desire to just create and do things. Like, we have the Empress as your internal influences, and we have your possible outcome about creation and desire as well. And it's one of those things where it's like you have it within you, no matter what. That's kind of where you're going. But in its reverse position, whatever reason, that fire, that flame is being smothered and smoked by fear, doubt, self-confidence issues. It's literally you not believing in yourself and finding all the reasons for why it's not going to work. Hold on, I gotta sneeze, and I sneeze a lot. Okay, sorry, pile 3. I sneezed like 7 times in a row, and I really didn't feel like having that on camera if I could avoid it. Okay, so let's get back into your full story because we did all the cards individually. I see here that you have gone through some type of lesson and you've completed a chapter, a phase, whatever it is. It's done. Believe in yourself. Trust that it's happened because you are moving out of your comfort zone. You have done the work. The people around you are seeing that you have done the actions. Yes, every once in a while you might have that candy bar I originally talked about. That's okay. It's fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep moving forward. Because what's behind us, what's holding us back is we were in a place of plenty, okay? We were in a place of plenty. We're in a place of having all that we needed. And I see, and I really feel like with the 6 of crystals and the 7 of crystals that we just gave too much of ourselves to somebody or something or some situation. And that's fine. It happens. That's human. It just puts us in an uncomfortable position and it makes us remember what's important, and that is us. We can't help others unless our own cup is full. And if our cup is empty, we're just kind of screwed, to be honest. There's no happy way to put that. So then our grounding and advice here is to allow things to happen in their own way and to be happy with what you do have. Be happy with what you've done. Listen to that heart space. Pay attention to what's around you because not all is lost. This is just a temporary discomfort. And it might be a very extreme temporary discomfort. I'm not trying to take that away from you. Still temporary discomfort. Because we have the Queen of Wands here as our next steps. So I know you're going to pull yourself through this. I know you're going to do it with grace. I know you're going to do it with love. I know you're going to do what needs to be done because that's just who you are. So give into that and allow yourself to take that Empress energy. Allow yourself to just have the ability to utilize everything that's going on inside of you. Because if you can put your pride aside and you can take that church, you can take that help behind you, this Ace of Wands does not have to stay reversed. You can upright it. You can lean into all that you have and decide that you're, instead of going to smother that passion, that fire, desire, and drive, that you're going to let it grow and just take it into a new direction. Here is one of your oracle cards, Psychic Development. I'm pulling this one out first because this feels really important for what I'm about to say. When anyone ever goes through an awakening or psychic gifts get enhanced or anything like that, they like to say there's a struggle. But it's not just about psychic development that this is a thing. Struggle is in any part of growth. Literally, anything that grows has to outgrow what it's currently doing, and it's an actual struggle. So when I see psychic development here, I'm reminded that A, there's a swan and it's just really pretty. But I'm reminded too that whatever you're going through is meant for your growth and your ascension. Something about this is going to help you connect to God, source, universe, spirit, whatever you call it, it's going to help you connect. Because there's omens around you too. You're getting messages, you're getting signs, you're getting signals, you're getting answers, and I feel like you're just ignoring them. Why do I feel like you're just ignoring them? Because this 10 of Cups here is really just hurting you. It's holding you back because you know you were either there or you know you're so close and you're just leaning into frustration instead of seeing what the universe has to provide for you. Our last card is Moderation. And what I absolutely love about this card, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, you can. There's hummingbirds in this card. And hummingbirds in multiple types of cultures are known and seen as beacons of joy. So moderation is a reminder that there is joy in moderation. By keeping things in balance and keeping things in harmony, you're going to find joy no matter what is going on in your situation. Okay, pile 3, that's your reading. That was a lot. I know that things aren't where you want them to be, but I'm really encouraging you to just keep pushing yourself forward to do what you need to do because you're right there. If you need any help seeing things from a new perspective or understanding, you know, how this is working for you and not against you, comment below and let me know what's going on and I will help you with that because I've been through a lot of crap myself. I know how much it sucks, But when I'm on the under end, like when I'm on the other side of it, I don't know how many times I've been like, wow, I get why I had to go through that shitty situation. I get it now. I learned a lot about myself, and I'm really proud I went through that. Was I happy in the moment? No. But was I happy to learn the lesson that I had? Yes, I was. Also, if you want a private reading, there's a link in the description below. That's your reading for today. I hope to read for you again soon, and that's it. Bye-bye, Pile 3.